So let's get on our way and talk a little bit about commonsku. So if you are currently unaware about what the collections feature is, inside of commonsku on the main navigation on the left-hand side is a tab called collections. If you haven't checked out this tab already, I definitely recommend you go in and take a look. What collections is a way for suppliers who use the commonsku platform to be able to create essentially presentations the same way that you guys create presentations for your clients. Okay, it's a way for suppliers to be able to create presentations for you, the distributor, on commonsku. And I think the really kind of cool part about this is they're building these for you guys. These aren't something that you're going to find anywhere else. You're not going to find them on any other platform and any other database. These are suppliers who are going in specifically on commonsku and building out collections of ideas to share solely with commonsku users, which I think is something that makes it truly unique. So you can actually access this collection section by going into collections on the left. And what we do is we list out the most recently created collections. So you can see Timbuktu is actually super busy today. They posted 4 separate collections. You can see it gives you the company logo here. It shows you 4 products that they want to highlight that are in that collection, and then shows you when it was published and the name of the collection as well. So if we scroll through here, it's actually going to show you, I believe, the last 24 collections to be made. And you can see that all of these collections, from the ones that were done by Maple Ridge all the way up to Timbuktu, there's a ton of different suppliers in here of added items, but these have all been updated this week, which I think is a really great way for you to be able to see what is relevant. And the suppliers really able to highlight things that they think are their best items, or their items that are most relatable to whatever is going on, whether it is a golf season coming up or if everybody is doing work from home. So with any of these collections, you can come in, you can see the top 24 last that were released. You can see who the suppliers are that were released and last across the top. And if there's a supplier that you don't see up here, you can always click on the 57 others. So that's right, there are 63 different suppliers who are creating collections on commonsku right now. And it will show you their logo, which you can search for if you'd like. And you can scroll through here. And let's say I want to look at one from, let's go with Vantage. So I can click on Vantage, and when I click on them, it shows me every collection that they've ever made. We actually called this webinar Shopping Spree because this is just like online shopping. Think of every supplier as a different store that you can go into. You can go ahead and say, you know what, yeah, I want to go into Vantage's store, or I want to go into Maple Ridge's store. You can go into that, and then you can see all of their collections when they created them last. So you have a way to kind of sort by supplier. If there's certain ones that you really love looking at, you can do that. Or if there's a certain theme that you want to look at, like the same theme that everybody seems to be involved with right now, which is work from home, you can click on that, and it sorts only collections that are labeled work from home by the supplier. So if you only want to see stuff that is work from home, you can click on that, and it will only show you collections that have been specified that theme by the supplier when they created the collection. These themes are controlled by us at commonsku, and we try to standardize these to make sure it doesn't turn into the wild, wild west of themes, and trying to keep it streamlined to some really standard reasons why distributors are building out presentations or stuff for their clients. So we control this on our side, but the supplier is able to label label the different collections that they create. Now with these collections, you can actually go into any of them. So it's great. I've shown you guys where to find them, how to filter them. So you can go into any of these collections, like Workout from Home, and I can click on that. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up the collection. Now, if you're a distributor on this call, you're probably looking at this and you're like, hey, wait a minute, this looks a lot like a gallery view of a presentation I send to one of my clients. And you are absolutely correct. It is laid out in the exact same gallery view that you send your client, except for now this is you looking at it, so you are the client. So you can actually look at this, and just like how your client can scroll through a gallery presentation, you guys can scroll through the collection by clicking on the items. You can see full descriptions. You can see all the quantity breaks, margin they recommend you sell it at, the retail, and you can scroll through all of the items just like your client does of a gallery that you send out to them. So that's all fine and dandy. Now we can see where we can find these actual items, and we can see how to look at them just like our client does, but how do we add these items in? So you can actually add these items in to a existing shop now. This is something that you were not able to previously do, and you can do that by clicking into the collection. And if you click into the collection, like this one from SNS, you're scrolling through and you're like, look at this awesome fish flag mesh flex fit cap. Perfect for one of my clients. I can click on that. I can see additional photos, all that fun stuff. And I'm like, yep, absolutely want this product. All we have to do is tap the add button. And in the top right-hand corner, it says copy to shop or project. Previously, this used to say copy to project, but you can click copy to shop or project. You click the copy button, and then what it's going to do is it's going to list two separate tabs for you. It's going to list a projects tab. It's going to show you every project that you're working on. So if you're not working on a shop, no problem. If you're just working on a regular presentation, then that's cool. You can add it to a presentation, and now it's added into the SKUCon swag presentation that we were working on. Or if I want to add it into a shop now, I can click on shops, and I can go ahead and add it into any shop that I'm working on right now by clicking add product, and now it will pull that item from the collection over onto the shop. Maybe you don't have a shop working at all yet and you are just starting to build out your very first one. Well, that's okay too, because you can always create shops or create a project on the fly, and it will just link you straight through to the shop section where you can then create the shop, and it will drop the item on that shop that you are creating. But let's say that, you like more than one of the items. Maybe you look at this SNS one and you're like, kind of like all the items. These are all pretty awesome. You actually can just click an add all button in the top right hand corner. It'll select all of them for you. Click copy to shop or project. Same thing, it's going to bring up a list of all of your projects that you're working on, all of your shops that you're working on, and I can create a shop from here. So again, I can click create shop. And we can say it's the collections webinar. And we'll select it from Vandalay. So we're going to select our client because it's a company shop, and click create. So now what it's doing is actually dragging all those items, all those images, everything over from this collection into a shop that I just created. And I did that in about a total of, I don't know, like what, 30 seconds, a minute, something like that. So it's going to take a second here to pull because obviously it has to pull a lot of data from one side to another, but a really, really easy way to access this. This is a real client experience, but I had somebody at a distributor who's in Chicago tell me about time that they had to build out a presentation and they needed it super quick. They needed it, client called just like clients do, and they said, hey, I need a presentation for this event. I need it in about 30 minutes to an hour. Can you do that for me? That person went in and they actually built an entire presentation out only using items from collections. Now she described it as like online shopping. So if you go into it with that mindset, this is a really, really cool way for you to do this virtual shopping of updated products that these suppliers are wanting to highlight for you, and you can quickly put stuff together in here. Now if we go look, you can see our shop is done now. If I go and click view shop, you can see here's the company shop that I just pulled all the items over onto. If we go to products, there we go. All the products are in there. I can go in and, if I want, I can edit anything I want to do with it, just like you can on any other shop, right? It treats it from here out. You guys know how the shop feature works. So, I can go in and make any changes that I need to. I can update anything that I would like. And I did that all. You can see it even brought that other photo across. So now I can start to drop in the lifestyle images. I can start to do my mocks, whatever. But think about how much time you spend in a day searching something like an ESP or a Sage, not only for presentations, but the ESP or Distributor Central for shops, that this becomes a much easier way for you to pull products from who knows their line the best, but the supplier. And the stuff that the supplier is really excited about is what you should be adding into your shops. If you are a Sage user out there, obviously Sage is not available in shops. So this is a great alternative for you guys as well, because you can start to use those collections, and those collections, you can pull those in instead of having to use a Distributor Central tab or get an ESB license or upload custom products, you can pretty much use collections as a substitute for Sage while you're building out these shops. Now, I've talked about kind of how you can view these in this public collection realm and how you can go through and kind of see all those updated ones. You can look for your favorite suppliers. You can sort by theme, how to click into them, how to add things, all of that fun stuff. So this is actually one of two ways that you can add items from collections into a shop. The other way involves you not having to go to a separate tab, so not having to go to the main nav and going into collections. The other way that you can actually add items in from a collection is while you are working on a shop, you can click Add and Product. When you do that, there is a From Collections tab. If you click on From Collections, you can search for collections by title, or you can look up a specific supplier, or you can sort by theme, or you can just hit search. And it does essentially the same thing. It's going to pull up collections by when they were last created. You can click into it from here, and what it's going to do is it's going to load it similar to like an ESP search, where it shows you the items here, and then you can go ahead and just click on any of the items that you want, and it will pull those items in from the collection straight into your shop, your presentation, whatever you're working on, without having to load anything else. So if you want a more direct link, then obviously using the From Collections tab. Personally, I love the main nav Collections tab. I think it gives you a nicer visual, gives you more to look at in terms of scrolling through. You can see the details and stuff like that. But if you already know what collection you want to pull from, and you just need to access it really quick, then using the From Collections tab in your Add Product section is going to be the best way to do it. I want to show you guys kind of a couple of quick shops, and I'll give a shout out to Bree for doing this for me. She put together these shops using nothing but collections, but I want to show you guys like how good these shops can actually look by using items that come from collections. So these are a couple of shops that Bree has made, and she made them in the course of a day. So here's a health and wellness one that she was able to pull in items, obviously with a nice customized banner at the top, just customize the lettering. And then you can see this one is using our featured styles. So she chose these four styles to be, or four products to feature, which your client can click into, or they can go into the all products section, and you can see she's done a really great job of building out different titles. And we've got items from all different suppliers here who have built collections. You can see we can scroll through, and there's tons and tons of photos for this item that your client can access without me or Bree ever having to upload additional photos. You can scroll through everything here, and like look at how awesome some of these photos and some of these items look. If you're a supplier and you are listening to this webinar from a distributor point of view, this is the way to do photos. Photos like this are perfect. It seems like the best response that end clients are giving to distributors are lifestyle photos. So the more of those that you can upload for the distributor, the better. And I love how a product like this looks with a lifestyle photo, and then we can get into some more granular looks outside of that. I think it's the lifestyle photo that really grabs the attention of the end user. But here, Bree built these super quick and was able to add in all of these different items from all these different vendors pretty easily. And you can see there's such a wide variety. And I know as a distributor, you guys are probably doing a lot of work from home stuff. That's why we just added that work from home category, and we notified all of our suppliers that, hey, we're adding a work from home category. It's obviously a very hot trend. I guess we'll call it a trend right now. So we added that in, and suppliers really responded. I think that there's over 25 collections that are in just the work from home category. So just giving you guys a bit of an idea of kind of how great these shops can look with these photos that the suppliers are customizing and uploading to give, put their best foot forward in terms of what that will look like to the end client. And obviously here's another one that Bree just built out, again, super quick. And this one has a bit of a splash screen, has a billboard style. She's obviously customized the text for both of these. She's dropped the Average Joe's logo in the top left-hand corner. Nice little touch. And then this one's more in the grid style of product display rather than the tile. If you guys remember from other shops webinars, the tile is more of like a is more of like a collage, and the grid style will standardize the photo sizes. But again, like look at all these awesome items. These are completely different items that she was able to just pull through collections, which is going to be so much faster than having to search ESP or Sage. So that gives you guys a little bit of an overview of how that collection feature should move over, either accessing it from that main nav or within the shop, clicking add product and then adding products directly from collections there. I have kind of two bonus things I just want to tack on to the end of this webinar. So if you're already tired of listening, that's okay, you can leave. But I do have two little pro tips for everybody in here of other things that you can do with both collections and something that's not collection related. The first one is, and I've mentioned this in one of the other webinars we did, if you click into collections, you go ahead and you look at these collections, and there should be one that is from commonsku, which is right here. It's the commonsku marketing one. If you haven't noticed this already, there is a working with us and client guide template that you can click on. And what this is a guide that we have created at commonsku for you guys to be able to use and copy into a presentation, or actually now copy it into a shop and share with your clients. So what it is a guide that you can use to share with your client base on why the system, aka commonsku, that you're using will benefit them. Now, we don't obviously write our name anywhere in here, but it's all about creating that stickiness with the client and trying to create a streamlined and efficient ordering process and telling them why what you are doing is the best. So this is a way for you to show them all the benefits that they get from the system that you are using. So it'll run through a working with us with customized text, and we can scroll through. It shows them kind of what ideation looks like and how they can do things like comment, and it gives you obviously some text in here as well. And then it will show them what the online store or the shop feature looks like, what their orders would look like, production, how they can check things like proofs, how they can look at project portals to get updated on what their order looks like, how they can see final invoices and actually pay by credit card, and then also how they have the ability to provide feedback. So the really interesting thing about this particular collection is what you guys can do is create a marketing shop, okay? If you're trying to figure out how to get this out to your clients, create a marketing shop. So what you'd want to do is, and you know what, I'll just do it for everybody right now. I'm going to go copy to shop, and I'm going to add all, copy to shop, and we're going to do shop type. We're going to create a new one. We want to create a marketing shop because I want to share this with all of my clients. I'm going to call it Working With Us. We're going to click create. What we want you to do with this guide, if you choose to use it, is if you choose to use it, is we want you to create a marketing shop. And a common request we're getting a lot is, I want to share with my client how to use the commonsku forms. How does this benefit them? How do they check their orders? Well, you can do that now by copying that collection to a marketing shop. And then in that marketing shop, go into the product section. You can see every slide that we made is basically an item. So you can go in and edit, and you can customize the text that you want to show. You can drop in your company name, and then you can customize any of this stuff. If you want to add in your own images, your own screenshots, you can do that. If you want to change the wording in here, you can do that. Add your branding, all of this stuff. So you can customize this now on your marketing shop to really show your client what you want to tell them about the stuff that you're going to send them. So how to approve orders, if you want to show them additional screenshots, or if you are using a particular shop, you want to put instructions on how to do that, you can add that in as a custom item here, or alter one of the items that we already created. So this is really meant to be a template that you can add into a marketing shop and then send it to all of your clients, because then your clients will get it, and then it gives them that little extra piece of, oh, this is how I'm actually able to work with you guys. So all this stuff can be custom, however you like it, and it just adds that extra layer of stickiness with your client, gives them a nice visual. With all of the items that are in here, you don't obviously need to have any pricing because we don't want them to order anything. So there's no chance for them to accidentally order anything. It's a really, really unique way and I've given them many, many shout outs for this, but Monarch and Company, who is on commonsku, came up with this idea internally that they used and shared it with me and thought it was brilliant. Gone ahead and used it for this, and I think it's such a cool way for you guys to be able to interact with your clients. The very, very last tip I'm going to give you is just another way for you to source products. I'm sure somebody probably wrote it in the questions, but they're like, what if I don't see a supplier who's created a collection, or they haven't created one for a while? Like, how can I get engagement from a supplier? Well, the other thing that you guys can look at doing is, if you know this already, which hopefully you do, you can copy any presentation, any estimate, or any order to a shop. So with this presentation that I have created, I can click Actions, I can click Copy Presentation, and then I can choose to copy it from a presentation to a shop. So I can choose to copy all those items over from a presentation to a shop. Well, the little like pro tip I'm going to give you here is, if you want to use collections, but maybe there's a certain supplier you really want to work with and they haven't updated a collection lately. Well, A, you should maybe give them a little nudge to be like, hey, can you throw up some collections for me to add products from? But maybe you're looking for something really specific. You want to reach out to suppliers. Well, what you can do is, while working on a project, create a brand new project, create a presentation, click Actions, and click Collaborate. When you click on Collaborate, you can choose to collaborate with all suppliers, or you can choose a supplier that you would like to collaborate with and write in what you would like. When you write in here, you want to give them as much detail as possible what you're looking for, and tap the Collaborate button. What this does is it sends a message to, in my case, every supplier that's on this list that you want to collaborate with them on a project. And then what happens is the supplier gets a notification and an email notification, and they can come in and they can actually suggest products for you right here. So all of their suggestions will show up in this section, which you can then pick and choose which items you want to add into your presentation. I'm using air quotes, but nobody can actually see me anymore. But I said presentation with air quotes. How this is kind of like a bit of a hack or a workaround is, you're using Collaborate to get the supplier to send you a bunch of ideas. Maybe there's a theme that's not on the collections tab. That's okay. Create a presentation, use Collaborate. Again, the suppliers will send you ideas. You'll get notified when they send them. You can pick and choose which items you want to add into your presentation. And then you guessed it, when you have enough ideas added to your presentation, you can then just copy that to a brand new shop. And now you've got all of these personal or personalized ideas directly from the supplier who knows their line the best about what you were looking for specifically. And you were able to build that out as a shop by just copying that presentation that you did the collaboration request on. So a couple of cool hacks in there for you guys, along with that new feature, collections to shops. If you did ask a question in the Q&A area, don't worry, I will get back to you. And as always, if you guys need anything, reach out to the team here at support@commonsku.com, or use the chat feature in the top right-hand corner by clicking on your profile photo and clicking on support to open up our chat bot and mix it up with somebody on the team. And as always, as I mentioned, if you do have topics, anything that you would love to cover in these webinars, you would love for me to cover in these webinars, definitely drop me a line, let me know, and we will get that on the schedule. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Enjoy your long weekend. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to everybody next week.